La da da da, la da da da, la da 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 da. We rise at dawn with the fire inside, serving the truth, no place to hide. We walk the path.
Torah Garden, speaking the absolute truth. Torah Nation.
Shalom, 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 Yashar'Al and Yahudah. Grafted in Gentiles into the body of Hamashiach. Listen, we praise Yahuah Elohayka for the witness. The Ruach HaKodesh, the water and the blood. Listening to none other than a song that has been created by the Basora of Truth. The song is entitled, He Goes Before Us. Yashar'Al and Yahudah, there's no fear to doubt, there's no reason to fear or doubt. Yahuah goes before you. Now, the you is those who have received the witness, those who have been born again of the water and of the Ruach HaKodesh, those that keep the commandments and have faith in Hamashiach Yahushua. Listen, you don't need to fear. Listen, you have reconnected, realigned yourself with the covenant that Yahuah made with your forefathers. He cleared the way. Listen. You are a people that are called by his name. You belong to Yahuah, Yashar'Al and Yahudah. Listen, you belong to him. He made a covenant with Abraham, Yitzhak, Yaakov, and Yisrael, Yashar'Al. You are his people. Abba Yahuah, right now in the name of Yahushua Mashiach, I say Todah Rabbah. Todah Rabbah. I ask you, Abba Yahuah, take the reins of my lips and the reins of my tongue and reign by the Ruach HaKodesh that you have put in my belly, from which you said will flow rivers of living waters. This you spake of the Ruach HaKodesh, which they were to receive at that time, that we have received in Amunah in this witness. Abba Yahuah, I praise you. Abba, may I not cause anyone to stumble and anyone to be turned out of the way. May a Torah of righteousness ring in their hearts and their minds, Abba Yahuah. I pray right now in the name of Yahushua HaMashiach that the power that you put in me would come forth in demonstration and in might. Abba, in the name of Yahushua HaMashiach, I thank you for power given to me through the witness of Yahushua HaMashiach to bruise the head of Hasnt, to affect his dominion and those that serve him, and to bring every evil ruach, every demon and devil under the subjection of said authority that has been granted to me in the Shamayim by Yahushua himself. I declare that every unrighteous, wicked demon devil be bound over those that Yahuah has chosen, over those that he has chosen to receive a Torah, over those that he has chosen to receive a Basora. In the name of Yahushua Mashiach, take your hands off the people of Yahuah, loose them and let them go. Abba, you said whatsoever I bind on earth is bound in heaven. Yahuah, you said whatever I loose on earth is loosed in heaven. Yahuah, you said what I ask for and declare on the earth will be honored in the Shamayim. So Abba, I thank you for this word that you're about to bring forth, this quickening word, this word of the Ruach HaKodesh, this word of power that you are about to bring forth in the name of Yahushua HaMashiach to set the captives free. Abba, in the name of Yahushua HaMashiach, you love Yashar'Al. You love Yashar'Al. You love Yashar'Al. And I praise you for it right now in the name of Yahushua HaMashiach. Abba, I praise you. Abba, let the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart be acceptable in thy sight. Yahuah, my strength and my redeemer. Man of Yah, listen, he goes before us. He conquers all. Listen, can't nothing stand up against Yahuah. What? There's nothing that can stand up against Yahuah, and nothing can stand up against you in him. No weapon turned against you shall prosper in him. Why? Because you are his. You are under his dominion. You belong to him. You are under his authority. Listen, you are his. And listen, Yashar'Al and Yahudah loves you. Right? Listen, don't let these devils make you believe that Yahuah has somehow casted away his people forever and that there is no more nation of Yashar'Al. There is no people that Yahuah has established as his own in Yashar'Al. The 12 tribes. That's ridiculous. That's ludicrous. Throughout the entire scripts, we see constantly Yahuah relationship with his people. Look, the book is about us. It ain't about them. Listen, I don't care what you commandeer, what you take away, what you try to make your own. It ain't yours. It ain't Yesu. It ain't Jesus. It ain't Jesus. It ain't Baal. It ain't the Lord. It ain't Ashtaroth. It ain't Dagon. It ain't none of this. And it ain't Islam. It ain't the nation. No, it belongs to a people. It's an ancient relationship that's built on a cultural ideas and a set of principles that govern us, that has been given to us by Yahuah. Listen, we serve Yahuah. So Yahuah is coming back for his people, Yashar'Al and Yahudah. And you know, Yahuah is gathering those that are of the nation of the nations, right, that he has chosen to bring in, that he have recognized that they too deserve his glory and his grace. Not all of them. Not all Yashar'Al is going to be saved. Listen, you got diabolical Hebrews, diabolical, wicked Hebrews, just like you had with our forefathers. Same devil, same ruach, same spirit that worked in them works now in our dispensation. Listen, ain't nothing new under the sun. But Yahuah loves Yashar'Al. He loved Yahudah. He chose them. You know, it's interesting, you know, because Yahuah has always made a distinction between his people and the world. Right? It ain't rocket science, right? This is not the church. That's paganism. That's heathenism, right? And that's Catholicism. That's the whole idea of a universal church under a universal religion that elevates and worships several deities. Nah, this ain't that. We serve Yahuah Elohayka, the living Yahuah. We serve him in the ruach of holiness. We declare a Torah and a Besorah of truth, and we live by it. And we can, because now in Yahusha, he has given us a new heart. He has given us a new ruach. He has given us a ruach hakodesh. We can keep his commandments. We can keep his Torah. We can be his people. Yashar'Al Yahudah, I'm of the nation of Yashar'Al, right? And it's my belief that I'm of the tribe of Yahudah, right? But even if I wasn't of the tribe of Yahudah, I'm still of the nation, right? Right? I am genetically DNA attached to the nation. You know, it's funny because they recognize the Igbo and the Igbo and the other Bantu tribes, but specifically Igbo, because of their genetics. They're E1B1A. Right? Right? E1B1A. Same DNA that runs and courses through my veins. Right? Same people. Yashar'Al and Yahudah. No, we ain't Americans. No, we ain't from here. This ain't our land. What are you, crazy? Yeah, I came in and so much absurdity. I mean, just so much absurdity. I could trace my DNA back to the continent of Africa. I could trace my DNA back to the region of the Congo. Right? Not the United States. We were brought here on ships. What are you talking about? See, you ain't going. You ain't Yashar'Al. You ain't Yahudah. Right? You done made your choice. You done made your bed. You were going to let you lie in it. The blood is going to be to the horse's bridle. Yeah. But Yashar'Al and Yahudah, you who are born again of the water and the Ruach HaKodesh, you who are of the other nations who have received Hamashiach's witness, you ain't got nothing to fear. But understand this, Yahuah has not replaced the nation. What? He has not replaced the nation. He is going to bring forth his kingdom with 12 gates, and these gates are going to be represented by the 12 tribes. Yahuah has not forgotten his people. He has not disregarded his people. Listen, Yahuah has a remnant of his people from every dispensation. From the time of Noah up until the time that we are today, through the various periods of time, Yahuah has always had a remnant of righteous people who will stand in obedience, looking to receive eternal life which he has provided. And for us, he has made it available through faith in the witness of Yahushua HaMashiach, because we lost the priesthood. Yeah, we lost the priesthood. Yeah, priesthood. But you had the Pharisees and the Sadducees. You had the Herod and the Herodians, and you had all of these political plants. These political plants. You got people who have received the priesthood that was never, the high priesthood that were never deemed to be even in the place of the priesthood by name and descendancy. Right? But Yahuah, in our dispensation, made Yahushua Mashiach's witness available. Right? Because now we got a high priest. Forever, after the order of Melchizedek and Yahushua Mashiach, before Yahuah's heavenly temple. Because, the temple was destroyed. you and the presence left there, right? He put his temple in you. If you were born again of water, Ruach HaKodesh, listen, you are the temple of Yahuah. You're the temple of Yahuah. Listen, Yashar'Al and Yahuah loves you. I love Jeremiah Yahu, because Jeremiah Yahu deals with the reality of how Yahuah has promised by an everlasting covenant, a demonstration of love for his people, to gather them, right? He's going to gather his people, right? His people, Shemites. His people, the descendant of Avraham, Shem, right? Not Japhet, right? Not Ashkenaz, right? Not Sephardism, whatever that is. Not Islam and the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. What? No. Yahuah loves a people that he has established and he's going to gather. So listen, I am here to deal with the nation and bringing them to the place where they need to understand they have to repent and turn in order to be Yahuwah's people. Now, you are a people that are called by his name, right? But those that are the chosen are those who have received the witness in Amunah and have his Ruach HaKodesh, right? You have the earnest, the down payment of your inheritance. You have the foundation to endure to the end, right? You will see his glory. You will walk in the land. Right? The land. Sub-Saharan Africa. I know some of y'all don't believe that. Some of y'all believe that, the land is that land over there in Jersey. Right? I believe Jersey is the land. Yeah. Jersey flows with milk and honey. Jersey can contain the entire 12 tribes. The mountain range is consistent with that which Yahuah speaks of in scriptures. Hey, and you know what? If the truth be told, them folk would have never went over there. Had they been able to get into Spain, or had they been able to get into Africa, Uganda, some of these other countries they petitioned before, but they couldn't. You know they wasn't going to get into the land of Yahuah and say it's theirs. What? Well, listen. Yahuah has a people. And he loves his people, right? So, I'm going to hit this real quick. Right? I'm going to bring this word, right? I'm going to bring this word. Right? Now, again, the foundation to everything, right? The beginning of everything is Genesis, right? But the beginning of everything as it is for the nation and the creation of the beginning is in Jubilees. See, Genesis has a way of writing out the nation. And Genesis has a way of bringing a disconnect in relationship to understanding why certain things were done. Right? See, Yahuah did everything according to times, dates, and seasons. Right? Yahuah was never a part of a lunar calendar. Yahuah established times and dates and seasons, and he gave them to Yashar'Al. Right? He gave them to Yashar'Al. Right? Days and seasons and times by which they could understand how to harvest, how to be hunter-gatherers, to be able to till the land, right? Gave times and seasons, times of refreshing, even when it comes to the land and the soil and agriculture, right? But the thing about Jubilees is that in Jubilees, right? Jubilees, the second chapter, right? And you've heard me teach it before, and I'm going to continue to teach it because it's the truth of Torah. Jubilees was given to Moshe by the angels of the presence, right? Yahuah gave the angels instructions to dictate to Moshe the times and seasons that are necessary in order for the nations to walk succinctly, I think that's the word, walk lockstep with Yahuah's times and dates, right? So, but what we understand is this, right? Right? While he had come to a close in creation, right? Jubilees, the second chapter, the 18th verse, right? Right. If you want to read the first to the through the second to this point, you will see the similarities of what you have in Genesis. But again, it's expounded, right? So they call Jubilees, right, a lesser Genesis, right, or a little Genesis, when in fact it's the reverse, as far as I'm concerned, right? Because Jubilee speaks to a people, and it brings in alignments, times, dates, and seasons. Genesis don't do that, right? And you got to look at the fact that the Genesis was translated and written down Right? Okay. And he gave us a great sign, the Shabbat, that we should work 6 days, but guard the Shabbat on the seventh day from all days, from all work. Right? So you know, 7 days, work 6 days and the seventh day he rested. Shabbat. Right? Seventh day. He rested. Right? It says here, and all the angels of the presence and all the angels of the sanctification, these two great classes of angels, right? These great classes of angels. These two great classes he has bidden us, right, to guard the Shabbat with him in heaven and on the earth. We were to guard, to protect the Shabbat. Ain't nobody doing anything, getting busy doing anything. Our job is to ensure that the Shabbat was carried out and everybody was in compliance. The same thing held true on the earth. Right? Right? And he said unto us, behold, I will separate unto myself a people. He said he will separate unto himself a people. Right? It's suddenly getting dark because there's other storms coming over. I don't want nobody to get it twisted. Because you know people just you get the rain start to come, right? But thunderstorms. He says, and he said unto us, behold, I will separate unto myself a people. Right? From among all the peoples. So there's this separation of people from amongst the people, right? He says, I will separate a people from amongst all the people. The world. The world makes up all the people. Yashar'Al, Yahudah, represents Yaakov, which is the people from amongst the world. See, now in Genesis, you don't have this truth revealed. Right? Because they want you to believe that Yahuah loved the whole world. He's got the whole world in his love. No. That is absurd. See, you wouldn't even know about Yahuah had it not been that it was recorded and that Yahuah demonstration of his power and his greatness was visually seen and witnessed through his people. And for what he loved his people and how he delivered those that were righteous. The world wouldn't have known him because the world was serving Baal. They were serving Dagon. They were serving the marine kingdom. They was worshiping devils and demons and they were making idols. The world. That's why Yahuah knew. You gotta understand, Yahuah existed in all time. Because he existed in all time, he knew the beginning at the end and the end at the beginning. He knew how it was going to transpire. He already had predestined those, the nation of Yashar'Al and those of the other nation. Listen. He says, and these shall guard my Shabbat, that people, and I will sanctify them unto myself as my people, and will bless them. Make no mistake about it. Yahuwah's word is true. If he has declared it, make no mistake about it, it has to come to pass. Right? It has to be fulfilled. It has to come into compliance because he said it. It's a Torah. So this Torah has a people that is sanctified, which is set apart unto himself. They're his people. They're his firstborn. Right? He says here, and I will sanctify them unto myself as my people and will bless them, As I have sanctified the Shabbat, as I have sanctified the Sabbath, as I have set apart a holy day of rest, and it is documented throughout the world, this holy day of rest, so is it so with the nation of Yashar'Al, the children of Yaakov, Israel. He says here, even will I bless them, and they shall be my people. No, the world. No Ashkenaz, no Sephardism. No, the nation of Islam. No, Hinduism. No, yeah, everybody. We are the world. We are the children. No. What makes you the people? My DNA. What makes you the people? My oral traditions. What makes you the people? The book. The fulfillment of the book. The prophetic fulfillment of the book makes me the people. Read, study, research, right? Learn, right? He says, and I have chosen the seed. He said, they shall be my people, and I will be their Yahuah. I have chosen the seed of Yaakov. I have, Yahuah. I saw Devariym, made a promise to him because he was faithful above all those that were in the world, but I had already chosen him in the foundation of the earth when I established the Shabbat. I had already determined that his seed was going to be the seed of the nation, right, that was going to bless the world. He said, I have chosen the seed of Yaakov from amongst all that I've seen. All that I've seen. I've seen Japhet. I've seen Ham. I've seen Shem. But man, that seed of Shem through Torah, Devariym, which was better than his fathers and his brothers because they didn't serve the living Yahuah. But Devariym did. So much so that he was ready to tear and to destroy every idol. Right? And the king was ready to kill him, so he had to flee. Because the king wasn't going to give up his idolatry. Right? No, that nation wasn't going to give up serving their elves to serve the living Yahuah. Why? Right? No! Yashar'Al did. Yahuah said it in Jeremiah. Y'all did. Right? You did. So what nation gonna turn their back on their Yahuah to serve the living Yahuah? But you did, Yahudah, and Yashar'Al. You turned your back on me, the true and living Yahuah, to serve elves that aren't even elves, that are demons and can't do nothing. Statues of stone and wood. He says here, I have seen, and I have chosen the seed of Yaakov from among all that I have seen, and have written him down as my firstborn. Yashar'Al and Yahudah, you ain't been replaced. I don't care what Christianity tries to tell you, it's a lie. You haven't been replaced, right? Shaul hasn't taught you that you've been replaced. It's a lie. You can't even rightly divide Shaul because you ain't got Yahuah's Ruach HaKodesh. You ain't even walking in obedience to Torah. You haven't received the witness. Your salvation, you walking around here bowing to the earth pig. You gotta, listen, you know what, this dispensation, right? You know, it's interesting because this dispensation, Christians are buck wild. Everything goes in the Christian church. Everything goes when you're serving Jesus. Everything goes when you're serving the earth pig. Everything goes when you're serving Baal in the Christian church. Everything goes. Yeah. That's why you got these G4202 pastors. You got these G4202, 3, 4, 5 catamites. You got adulterers. Strong's Blue Letter Bible Concordance, G4202, G4203, G4204, G4205. Strong's Blue Letter Bible Concordance, homosexuality, lesbian, and fornication, adultery, sex with animals, sex with close relatives. That's why you got this in the Church of Jesus and the Lord. Yeah, y'all don't like it, but I don't care. Because that's just what it is. It's a cert. It's a church. Right? But this ain't what we got. No. We have a culture. We have assemblies. Right? And in these assemblies, you have people who have faith in Yahuah through Yahusha, Yah salvation, and they're walking in obedience to Torah. Yeah. And we keeping the Shabbat. Somebody say, you ain't keeping the Shabbat because, you on the linear calendar. You know what? This is what I say to that. Right? This is what I'm going to say to that. You who are in Christendom choose to worship on a Sunday, which is the day of the sun. The Catholic Church established the Sunday worship as a day to worship the sun, the proverbial day of the sun. Right? First day of the week. Right? But we choose to rest on the seventh day of the week, which is before the first day of the week. So by virtue of our reverence and obedience and desire to serve Yahuah continually on the day that we believe is, right, the Shabbat, we gonna do it. I ain't gonna go to no cert on no Sunday. Everything closes down. And again, it's gonna get to the point where they're gonna be like, okay, time for one world religion, and everybody that don't want to worship them is gonna find themselves under persecution, right? Maybe in the United States, right? Maybe in Europe and Britain. Maybe in these colony countries, right? Maybe in these colony countries, right? Maybe in these colony countries. Right? But Yahuah has a place for us. Yashar'Al and Yahudah. A place where we will go and we will worship Yahuah, the true and living Yahuah Elohayka. And experience the opportunity to come together under the sun or the moon in the land of Canaan, in a place that he has established for us. They're going to be able to go do what you want. Go do what you want to do. Hear the word of Yahuah. Yahuah had people that he loved. Everything that he does is revolves around the people that he loves. He says, my firstborn son, Yashar'Al, and have sanctified him unto myself forever and ever. See, I'm sanctified unto Yahuah. Yashar'Al, Yahudah, was sanctified unto Yahuah forever. We are a part of a covenant of Yahuah forever, right? You violators of the covenant, right? You're going to be judged according to the Torah, right? But you who have received the witness, the atonement of Hamashiach Yahushua, and have been reestablished, reconnected, right, renewed in this covenant, you're going to experience victory. You ain't got no reason to fear. Y'all hear that rain coming down? Woo. I love it when it rains. I really do. My grass loves it too because it get hot and dry. Excuse me, I digress. He says, and I will teach them the Shabbat, that they may guard the Shabbat thereon from all their works. He says, and thus created therein a sign accordance with all that should guard the Shabbat with us on the seventh day, right? Seventh day, to eat and to drink and to bless him who has created all things. Bless him who created everything, as he has blessed and sanctified unto himself a peculiar. See, we peculiar. You know, there's something about us. You know, our melanin is remarkable. You know, everybody's got melanin, right? But our melanin in us functions on a whole different level. Our melanin feeds our skin, right? Right? Our melanin feeds our organs, right? The vitamin D that we get from the sun that comes into our bodies feed our bodies. There's so much that's connected to melanin. They hate us. They would rather have us dead to extract our melanin. I know somebody, you ain't gonna like that, but it's true. They would rather have you unalive. Your melanin. It's conduit. It creates connectivity. It causes things to fire. Almost supernatural. Your DNA is, right? Your melanated skin ensures the strength and elasticity of your skin. Right? 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 They going around with a 50-year challenge. Y'all go ahead and do that. Because Yahuah's people. 62. There ain't no wrinkles. Unless I create. You will love Yashar'Al. We are his people. We are a peculiar people. Listen. He ain't gotten rid of us. He's not casted away his people. He hasn't. He says here, as I have sanctified the Shabbat and do sanctify it unto myself, even so will I bless them. Yaakov. And they shall be my people, and I will be their Elohiym. And I have chosen the seed of Yaakov. Yaakov. Right? He says, and sanctified unto himself a peculiar people above all people. And that they should guard the Shabbat together with us. Yaakov. Yashar'Al. Right? A people that is loved by Yahuah. A people that Yahuah has not discarded. Deuteronomy, the 7th chapter. Deuteronomy, the 7th chapter. Right? Deuteronomy 7th chapter is in fact a warning to the nation, right? It's a warning, right? But it exemplifies the idea that they are his people. He said, listen, when Yahuah, thy Eloah, shall bring you into the land which thou goest to possess it, and haveth cast out all the nations, right? Cast out all the nations before thee, the Hittites, the Geshurites, the Ammonites, the Canaanites, the Perizzites, the Hivites, the Jebusites, 7 nations greater and mightier than thee, the descendants of Canaan. A land that Canaan stole. A land that Canaan took possession of in spite of his brothers and his father telling him not to. a land that was the land of Shem. It was the best land. And Canaan took it. Right? But Yahuah has never forgotten the fact that Canaan violated a Torah that gave allotments of land in the beginning. And that there was a judgment attached to it. And Canaan didn't care. Right? He didn't care. But that curse came upon him and his descendants in that land. Right? And when Yahuah, thy Eloah, shall deliver them before thee, thou shalt smite them and utterly destroy them. Thou shalt make no covenants with them, nor show mercy to them. Right? That's what we were supposed to do. Right? But we didn't. Got into the land, there was still some ticks of these other nations that was burrowed in and didn't want to let go. And we went to war and we went to battle, but instead of trusting Yahuah, we started feeling like, well, we couldn't get the victory, so we gave up and we made agreements, covenants with them, that they would pay us tribute. Yahuah didn't tell us to do that. He didn't say to do that, but we did that. We did that there. He didn't tell us to do that there, but we did it. Right? Did he stop loving us because of that? No. He says, neither shalt thou make marriages with them. Thy daughters shall not give unto his sons, and his sons shall not take thy daughter, and nor his daughters shall thou take unto thy sons. Why? Had nothing to do with race, had nothing to do with color, had nothing to do with none of that. Why was? Because they were idol worshippers, they were adulterers, and they would sway you. He says here, for they will turn away the sons from following me, that they may serve other elves. That's why. That's why we ain't supposed to be marrying outside our nation. Yashar'Al and Yahudah. Right? Right? Our nation is supposed to be a nation that serves Yahuah. But even amongst our people, man, our people are serving all kinds of other things. And you got some of the other nation that has accepted the witness of Yahushua Mashiach and been born again of the water and the Ruach HaKodesh that are now serving Yahuah. They are the other nations. Right? Look, my wife is European. I married my wife before I understood that I was Hebrew. And I understood that this was my heritage and culture. Right? Right? I love my wife. And for 4 years, she was wonderful. She was always been a wonderful wife to me. Right? Even in my transition, when I began to realize who I was and I began to stand on this Torah and preach this Torah, she would listen. She would continue to do what she did. I mean, she never did anything unrighteous. She loved me. She loves me to this day. Right? But she was of the other nations. Was I going to discard her? What are you, crazy? Why would I do that? If she be pleased to live with me, then I ain't going to put her away. If she ain't done anything worthy to be put away, I ain't putting her away. No. What I did was I just by faith trusted Yahuah to do what he needed to do when the time come. When the time came, she understood what this witness is about. She got in that water, and I was privileged to baptize her. Right? She my wife. She of the other nations. But guess what? She's the daughter of Yahuah. Because he chose her. But Yashar'Al and Yahudah, we weren't supposed to. It had nothing to do with race. It had everything to do with the fact that they were idol worshippers. And they were going to turn the hearts of the fathers, the sons, against Yahuah. He says this. He says, listen. But thus shall ye deal with them, Ye shall destroy their altars and break down their images and cut down their groves and burn their graven images with fire. Why? Because if you don't, that will fester. It will fester. It's like a nasty open wound. It's got to be gutted out and cleaned out and some good salve applied to it. Right? But if you leave it unattended and allow it to remain, it's going to fester. Get all nasty. And it's going to start to stink. That's what happens with these idols and these perversions. He says this. He said, Yahuah did not set his love upon you nor choose you because ye were more than any people, for ye were the fewest of all people. You were actually one person. When Yahuah chose Devariym from amongst the world to bring forth Yaakov, that was 1, 2, 3 generations and 12 sons that he built a nation with. We were few in number. He didn't choose us. He didn't set his love on us. He loved us. He said, Yahuah did not set his love upon you, nor chose you because you were more in number than any people, for you were the fewest, right? But because Yahuah loved you, and because he would keep an oath, his word, which he already declared, he gave it to the angels of the presence and the sanctification in the Shabbat, declaring that Yaakov, he says that because Yahuah loved you, and because you would keep the oath which he had sworn unto your fathers, have Yahuah brought you out with a mighty hand and redeemed you out of the house of bondage and from the hands of Pharaoh, king of Mizraim. Yahuah loves you. He didn't love you because you was a bunch of people. See, Yahuah loved the nation. He loved the people. Yahuah don't love idol worshippers. Idol worshippers don't love Yahuah. Yahuah don't love idol worshippers. Yahuah don't love the worshippers that sacrifice children. He doesn't like the wicked, period. He hates the wicked. He's angry at the wicked every day. He says, but because it says love upon you, he would keep an oath that he swore unto your fathers, right? Verse 9. Know therefore that Yahuah thy Eloah, he is Eloah, and the faithful Eloah, that keepeth covenant and mercies with them that love him, and keep his commandments to 1,000 generations. See, Yahuah, I keep his covenant. I keep his covenant. You know, you ask the average Christian, what is the covenant? They don't know. What is the covenant that they are expected to keep? They don't know, because they don't have a covenant. These other nations never had a covenant with Yahuah. That's why Yahuah said, I've come to redeem the lost sheep of Israel, because I had a covenant with them. I had a promise. It's written in the Shamayim. There has to be a reconciliation. There has to be a method by which my people can be called by my name. They would have a way to return. They would have a place and a way to be restored. It's in the witness of Mashiach Yahusha, the Ruach HaKodesh, the water and the blood. He says here, know therefore that Yahuah thy Eloah, he is Adonai, the faithful Adonai, which keepeth covenant and mercies with them that love him. See, your demonstration to Yahuah, his love language, is obedience to his commandments. I mean, we don't have to keep the commandments no more. We ain't got to keep the law no more. If you don't love Yahuah. All I got to do is love my neighbor. All right. And that hangs all the laws and the prophets. Right. Okay. You believe that you can do that in the earth pig. Go ahead. So it's okay. Go ahead, believe that. Believe that Yesu, and believe that he can do that for you. Right? See, the sui, I don't have a problem if you eat of his flesh and drink of his blood. Because he a pig. And you know most of us like pig. Excuse me. Not us. Not us who have understood the defiled nastiness of an unclean pig. But you know, y'all who bask in sui, right, will eat it steaks. You will eat it ham. You will eat its feet. You will eat its tail, right? You will eat his chitterlings. You will eat that bacon, that sausage, that pepperoni. You will eat it all, right? But you don't love Yahuah. Because Yahuah said he loves them. Yahuah says he keepeth covenant and mercy with them that love him by keeping his commandments. Right? And keep his commandments to my generation. See, I'm keeping Torah. My mishpaka is keeping Torah. The people that I know that are of the other nations and those that of Yashar'Al that have received the witness of Yahushua HaMashiach are keeping the commandments. They're keeping the commandments. They have faith in HaMashiach, Yahushua's witness. He says this, and repayeth them that hate him to their face, to destroy them. He says he repays them. Not with love. Not with love. He repays them that hate him to their face. He hates, he repays them. To what? Destroy them. We are the world. We are a bunch of fornicators. We are G4303. We are a bunch of devil worshippers. Yeah, he hates you. Because you hate him. Y'all go like that. I don't care. Don't care. Y'all put more love and affection on these wicked, diabolical entertainers. Right? These wicked preachers, these wicked entertainers, these catamites, these sodomites. You put so much of love and attachment to them. These whores, these harlots, these whoremongers that sing about harlotry and adultery and fornication. That they want everything but don't want to give anything. Yeah, he gonna destroy you to your face. He said he will repay him to his face. He will not be slack to him that hate him. Gonna pay you to your face. He says here, thou shalt therefore keep the commandments and the statutes and the judgments which I have commanded you this day to do them. Right? Right? For wherefore shall come to pass, if you hearken to the judgments and keep and do them, saith Yahuah thy Eloah shall keep unto thee the covenant of mercy which he swore unto your fathers. He says, listen, and he will love thee and bless thee and multiply thee and also bless the fruit of thy womb. Listen, listen, listen. Yahuah loves you. Yahuah loves you. So much so that he is prepared, right? He is prepared to provide everything for you and to judge the wicked, his enemies, your enemies. He's going to judge the wicked, his enemies. I already read it, right? He says here, and repay them that hate him to their face. Verse 9, Deuteronomy 7, know therefore that Yahuah thy Lord, it is he, the faithful Eloah, which keep covenant and mercies with you, them that love him, Yashar'Al, and keep his commandments, Yashar'Al, to 1,000 generations. Listen, this is a covenant given to a people. Right? Covenant that is forever. We read it. It's forever. Yahuah loves you. Yahuah hasn't discarded his people. He hasn't casted away his people. Right? Right? Deuteronomy, the 10th chapter. All we're doing is we're establishing this foundation that Yahuah loves his people. Right? And because he loves his people, he will never forsake his people because of covenant that he made with their fathers forever and ever. Right? It says here, Deuteronomy 10. Let's see where I want to start. Okay. Deuteronomy 10 and 12. Now, Yashar'Al, what do Yahuah thy Eloah require of thee? Right? But to fear Yahuah thy Eloah and walk in his way, which is the way, which is obedience to Torah. To walk in the way of Yahushua HaMashiach, for he said himself, I am the way, the truth, and the light. No man comes up to Abba but by him. Right? Right? He says, now Israel, Yashar'Al, what does Yahuah require of thee but to fear Yahuah and walk in his way, and to love him and to serve Yahuah thy Eloah with all thy heart and with all thy soul. How you do this? To keep the commandments of Yahuah and his statutes, which I command thee this day for thy good. See, because it's for your good as a nation. For your good as an individual. Yashar'Al. To serve Yahuah. It's for your good. For you to serve Yahuah. It's for your good to serve Yahuah Yashar'Al, it's for your good to keep his commandments. It's for your good to walk in his statutes. It's for your good. Right? He says here, for behold, the heavens and the heavens of heavens is Yahuah Elohayka, and the earth also, and all that is in it is his. Right? Only Yahuah had a delight in thy father to love them. No, Yahuah loves the world. No, Yahuah loves the world. Yahuah loves everybody. Yahuah shows mercies unto thousands of them that love him and keep his commandments. How can you be walking in disobedience and have Yahuah's love? I mean, if you know he shows mercies to them that love him and keep his commandments, and to love him is to keep his commandments, and the world does not keep his commandments, how does Yahuah love them? Now, he says here in Deuteronomy, right? Deuteronomy, to keep the commandments of Yahuah and his statutes which I have commanded thee this day for thy good. Behold, the heavens and the heavens of heavens is Yahuah's, and thy Elohiym, and the earth also with all that is therein. Right? Right now, only Yahuah, he's just like, oh, Yahuah only. It says only Yahuah, but it says Yahuah only had a delight in thy fathers to love them. See, that's why they didn't want you to know you were the people. They didn't want you to know that you were loved of Yahuah. Right? See, but the cat is out the bag. In this dispensation of time, he's got me as a mouthpiece to let you know the cat is out of the bag. You belong to Yahuah. He loves you. You just need to repent, turn, and be reconnected, be brought back into alignment with your Creator through faith in Yahushua Mashiach's witness. Be born again of the water and of the Ruach HaKodesh. You got to do these things. He says here, for Yahuah had a delight in thy fathers to love them. Right? And he chose their seed after them and above all peoples, as it is this day. Circumcise therefore the foreskin of your heart, and be no more stiff-necked, which it means is circumcise your heart, obey Yahuah's Torah, keep his commandments, and stop being hard-headed. You know, if he don't want you to do it, then don't do it. If you know it's something that he said you don't do, then don't do it. For Yahuah thy Elohiym is the Adonai Yahuah of all the other gods. He is Adonai of all the other lords. A great Elohiym, a mighty and terrible, which regardeth not persons nor taketh rewards. Yahuah. He loves Yashar'Al. He loves Yashar'Al. Deuteronomy 11. Therefore thou shalt love the Yahuah thy Elohim, keep his charge and his statutes and his commandments and his judgment sometimes. Always. And know this day, for I speak not with your children which have not known, and which have not seen the chastisement of Yahuah, your Elohiym, his greatness, his mighty hand, and his stretched out arms. But you have witnessed it. Therefore, love Yahuah. Right? Let's jump down to 22. Actually, let's start at 21. That your days might be multiplied, and that the days of your children in the lands which Yahuah swore unto thy fathers to give them, and the days of heaven upon the earth, as the days of heaven upon the earth. Listen, I'm waiting to get back to the land so that my days could be heaven on earth. Because on this part of the earth, United States of America, it ain't never been heaven on earth. But I have turned. So I wait with expectation for the gathering of his people, for the shift, the move, the opportunity to depart, to leave. He says here, then will Yahuah drive out all these nations from before you. Then Yahuah shall drive out all these nations before you. No, I skipped one. 22. For if you shall diligently keep all of these commandments which I command you to do them, to love Yahuah, your Elohiym, to walk in his ways and to cleave unto him, then will I drive out all the nations from before you. Right? And ye shall possess greater nations and mightier than yourself. Why? Because Yahuah loves you. Right? Know that Yahuah loves you. Right. Now, let's wind this in, right? Jeremiah, right? Jeremiah Yahudah. 31 and 30. Right? Let's do 30 first. Jeremiah Yahudah 30 and 1. The word of Yahuah came to Jeremiah Yahudah from Yahuah, saying, Thus speak of Yahuah Elohiym to Yashar'Al, saying, Write thee all the words that I have spoken unto thee in a book. For lo, the days come, saith Yahuah, that I will bring again the captivity of my people, Yashar'Al and Yahudah. Right? So Yahuah is going to bring the captivity of his people, Yashar'Al and Yahudah. Right? Because no man was going to buy us. No man was going to redeem us, according to Deuteronomy 28:68. There was nobody that was going to deliver us from the hands of these wicked nations. But you. Right? He says, For lo, the days come, saith Yahuah, that I will bring again the captivity of my people, Yashar'Al and Yahudah. The world. I'm going to bring the world. I'm going to bring all the nations and the children. No, lies. 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 It's not possible. Because Yahuah has the people that he's gathering. Yashar'Al and Yahudah. Right? And he's going to provide for those of the other nations to come along with us as well, that he has chosen. Not everybody. He ain't bringing all of Yashar'Al. No. You've got to be established as his, having been redeemed, having been atoned for. Because if you ain't walking under an atonement, you outside of fellowship with Yahuah. But he's bringing Yashar'Al and Yahudah. Saith Yahuah, and I will cause them to return to the land of Canaan. I will cause them to return to the land of the Congo. Because listen, right? Sephardism would have never went over to that land, right? Had it not been for an agreement for some property. And everywhere else, they were denied. But they were given the rights to be able to take hold of, which I don't understand how that was ever possible, because the people that gave them the rights didn't have the rights. It wasn't their land. He's going to cause them to return to the land that I gave to their fathers, and they shall possess it. To gave to his fathers, and they shall possess it. And these are the words that Yahuah spake concerning Yashar'Al and concerning Yahudah. For thus saith Yahuah, we have heard a voice of trembling, of fear and not of peace. Right? But Yahuah loves Yashar'Al. Yahuah loves Yashar'Al. Right? Yahuah loves Yashar'Al. Right? Right? He says, ask ye now and see whether a man doeth travail with a child. Wherefore do I see every man with his hands on his loins, as a woman in travail, and all faces are turned to paleness. Alas, for the day of the great, so that none is like unto it, even in time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it. See, we have lived Jacob's troubles. We have lived it. We have been gator bait. We've been buck broke. Our wives have been raped. Our children have been raped. Children have been taken from their families. For it shall come to pass in that day that Yahuah of hosts, Yahuah of the army, will break the yoke off thy neck and will burst the bonds, and strangers shall no more serve themselves of him. No, you ain't gonna use me for your advantage. Yahuah has broken the yoke off my neck. He says here, and they shall serve Yahudah Eluah and David, or Yahusha, their king, whom I will raise up for them. Right? Therefore, fear thou not, O servant of Jacob. Fear not, O my servant Jacob, saith Yahuah. Neither be dismayed, O Yashar'Al, for lo, I will save thee from afar, thy seed, from the lands of their captivities, and Jacob shall return. That don't sound like a kumbaya, everybody go. That sounds like a restoration of a people. And thy seed from the land of their captivity, and Jacob shall return, and shall be at rest, and be quiet, and none shall make him afraid, for I am Yahuah, thy Adonai Yahuah, to save thee. Why? Because I said no man will save thee but me. Though I make a full end of all the nations whither I have scattered thee, yet will I not make a full end of thee, but will correct thee in measure, and will not leave you altogether unpunished. So, Yahuah says I had to correct you. I'm going to waste the nations, right? But I'm not going to waste you. I'm going to waste the nations, but I'm not going to waste you. For thus saith Yahuah, thy bruise is incurable, and thy wounds are grievous, and there is none to plead thy cause, that thou mayest be bound up. Hast thou no healing medicine? You talk about your lovers, how all of the people that robbed and spoiled and did Yaakov wickedly, right? Yahuah says, verse 18, right? Thus saith Yahuah, behold, I will bring again the captivity of Yaakov's tents, and have mercy on his dwelling places, and the city shall be built upon her own heap, and the palaces shall remain after the manner thereof. A people that Yahuah loved. Man of y'all, woman of y'all, listen, hear the word of you, right? Yahuah hasn't cast away his people. His people have no reason. You have no reason to fear, right? You are his people. If you are in this witness, if you receive this atonement of Mashiach Yahushua, if your sins have been forgiven, and you have a new heart and have received a new ruach and have Yahuah's ruach hakodesh, you can keep his commandments. You can obey him. You have nothing to fear, and he gonna gather you. Yashar'Al and Yaakov. Yashar'Al and Yahudah. Hear the word of Yahuah. Abba Yahuah, in the name of Yahushua Mashiach, I thank you for the word you've given me to give to them. I pray in the name of Yahushua Mashiach that they would receive this word, and that this word would be a lamp unto their feet and a light unto their pathway. Abba, I praise you for your word. I thank you for the light of light. I thank you for all that you are and all that you do. Abba, I pray right now in the name of Yahushua Mashiach, the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart be acceptable in thy sight. In the name of Yahushua Mashiach, I pray, hallelujah. Listen, you are the people of Yahuah, Yashar'Al and Yahudah. He ain't forgotten you, right? He hasn't turned his back on you. He's waited for you, for your return. In the dispensation he's given me to give to you, return, repent, reclaim your birthright in the Mashiach Yahushua, so he can gather you. Listen, I love you. Listen, man of y'all, woman of y'all called the greatness, woman of you, beautiful, one that's made today, you has favored you. We bless Yahuah's name for you. With that, I'm going to say, shalom, 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 and be blessed.
Torah Garden, speaking the absolute truth. Torah Nation.
La da da da, la da da da, la da 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 da. We rise at dawn with the fire inside, serving the truth, no place to hide. We walk the path.